now shift focus towards China, where Typhoon Doksuri has swept in. And this is happening in the southeastern Fujian province, unleashing heavy rains. Violent gusts of wind whipped power lines, sparking fires, uprooting trees and forcing factories and shopping malls to shut. Preparations are underway in China after weather authorities issued a red alert to warn about the imminent arrival of Typhoon Doksuri. Chinese state broadcaster CCTV showed boats tied to bollards in fishing harbours. Heavy storms leading to heavy winds caused several trees to fall. Buildings were surrounded by sandbags to prevent their glass windows and doors from breaking. The local authorities have also evacuated dozens of villagers from vulnerable areas in nearby Fujian province as heavy rains triggered flooding. Earlier, the typhoon hit battered Taiwan's Kinmen Island, bringing heavy rain and strong winds. The typhoon toppled trees and left thousands of homes without power in southern Taiwan. As per local media reports, this prompted the nation's authorities to shut business for the second day in a row. More than 300 domestic and international flights were suspended, and railway services between southern and eastern Taiwan were halted as well. Doksuri has already caused a lot of damage to life and property in Philippines, the first nation to bear the effects of the typhoon. In Manila, the capital of the Philippines, a ferry sank after passengers, alarmed by strong winds, rushed to one side of the boat, and it eventually overturned. As many as 36 people have been killed this week during Doksuri's transit off the northern Philippines. All right, for more on this, we are being joined by our correspondent Andrew Wood from Hong Kong. Andrew, the typhoon has hit the coast of China and is set to move into the mainland. What can you tell us about the kind of preparations which are underway in the region?
Well, I think the preparations have been fairly traditional. Lots of sandbags, closing offices, closing schools, closing businesses, telling people to stay at home, and also to perhaps stock up on water as well. But it's just, electricity, it seems, has been cut in many parts of the south coast, close to Xiamen, the city which is closest to where where Doksuri has made landfall. It is a little bit weaker than people have been expecting even a few days ago. It was counted as a super typhoon by the Philippines authorities until about 3 or 4 days ago, but it did slow down a bit when it rushed through the northern Philippines and the south of Taiwan, and it lost a bit of power there. There were winds at that point gusting up to about 170 and 180 kilometres per hour. But the highest wind recorded so far on the coast of China, where Doksuri has made landfall, is about 140 kilometres per hour.
Andrew, we've seen the kind of devastation Doksuri caused in the Philippines and Taiwan. Are we expecting destruction on a similar scale across the areas of impact here as well?
It's looking like that at the moment. I mean, we know more about the Philippines and southern Taiwan simply because they've had a few more days to basically total up the numbers and have a good reconnaissance of where the damage is. At the moment, it's only really a few hours since Doksuri made landfall on the mainland of China, and so the reports are still having to be collated. It doesn't seem to be as powerful as Storm Meranti, which was back in 2016, or at least that's what the meteorologists say. 11 people died on the mainland of China during that. So far there are no reports, so far of course, of anybody dying on the south coast of China as a result of Doksuri. But as I say, it's very early in the timescale at the moment.
All right, thank you for all those updates, Andrew. That was our correspondent Andrew Wood getting us all the updates from Hong Kong.